Welcome one and all to the Backyard Bullion live stream. We don't do very many of them, but when we do, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is all working nicely. So let me know if there's any issues with things like audio or stuff down in the comments, in the live chat. Otherwise, sit back, relax and enjoy. I'm doing some silver polishing today, which is always fun, and it's one of those things, I say fun in the funnest sense of the word, it's one of those laborious tasks which I thought I'd share with you all as I do. So I hope everybody's having an okay day. I mean, for us here in the UK, it's been a pretty weird weekend. It's been wet, rainy, windy, horrible, and then of course last night in the UK we basically had the news that we're all going back into lockdown in the not too distant future. So that's going to be fun, I have no doubt. So lots going on in the UK at the moment, and at the moment for us, the Backyard Bullion team anyway, I hope that doesn't have too much of an issue with regards assay testing and assay marking. We've got our assay office based in Scotland, so for those that don't know, we send all of our silver up to Scotland for assay testing, and that at the moment is still open because they're in Scotland and they're not locked down completely. So hopefully that'll stay the same for the next couple of days and weeks ahead, but I do have a few things in the pipeline which could get quite delayed and annoyed, which is very frustrating. So it is what it is, and we'll just have to kind of crack on with what we can do. So let's jump into everything. I know it's a bit of an early one for anybody in the USA, but the light here in the UK is just awful. It's just like gloomy, dark horribleness, and even if I let it go a little longer, I think it would look pretty poor lighting wise. So hopefully we can at least get something done here. So let us know where you're based down in the live chat. It's always fun to hear from what part of the world you hail as you are joining us here. We've got Malic Acid is Sour is asking, why am I polishing my silver? That is the title of this live stream. I'm going to be doing some silver polishing. It's actually the second stage of the antiquing process. So it's not polishing in the sense that I'm not getting out my silver crockery and cutlery and everything and polishing my silver, so to speak, like they used to do in the old times. I am going to be making these little 1 ounce Backyard Bullion bars shine once again. I have already done the smelly part, which is using liver of sulfur, which smells like rotten eggs, to oxidize them. So silver, as we all know, tones over time, and basically, so if you want to have something like this piece here with the letters blackened, then we use liver of sulfur to do that. So I have pre-stained all of these little 1 ounce bars, and then as if by magic and a little bit of elbow grease, we're going to turn them back into lovely silvery goodness, and we're going to do that with this particular brand of silver polish. We're not sponsored by Goddard's or anything, that's just the brand I use, and I've got a nice big foam thing here and some polishing duster cloths here as well. But it's really quite a simple process. It just takes a fair amount of time to do, and you'll see quite how radical the change is. You've got here a dark, grimy, dirty bar, and this has already got a bunch of silver polish kind of all over it, and it's just a case of literally going over any of the parts that have got darkness on them, and as if by magic it becomes nice and shiny and silver again, which is exactly what you want. It is a little bit of a laborious process that can take a fair amount of time. In fact, what I always do for the bases as well is I get a little chunk of silver polish, get it on the cloth, and then we just nice hard flat surface and off we go. So that is basically what we have to do 50 times, and you can see the difference. So that, I hope, answers the question of why we are polishing some of our silver today, because we're turning our bars into something that looks very nice, hopefully, for everybody. So we've got Small Town Stacker from USA, Missouri. Welcome in, my friend. Nice and early in the morning, I suspect, for you. We've got, who else? We've got UK Stacker. Welcome into the chat. Hope everybody's having an okay time here in the UK. It's pretty grim wherever you are. I don't know what it's like with you, but with us here, it's absolutely horrible. We've got Ian Hosier saying, what are the ones at the top that look like rocks? So I presume you mean these. These are just fun ornaments that I've got laying around on just desk basically. They are silver casting grain nuggets, I guess you could call them. So I think it was about 2017, I ordered some silver casting grain from the European Mint, and within the giant bucket that we had, it was a proper bucketful, by the way, there were these nuggets. There's a few more as well, and they're basically just obviously been created, and they've fused together. They've not quite separated when they were melting, and I just love them. I think they're brilliant. I've let them out, and this is the natural toning. So in fact, this is a good example. These bars here are speeded up using liver of sulfur, but if you leave silver out for a long enough time in a natural environment, it will naturally start to tone, like these nuggets have done. So yeah, that's why I've got them out on the table here, to kind of demonstrate, and I love them. I think they're brilliant. They're really very cool indeed. Who else is now joining? We've got Gibby's Treasure joining. Hello, my friend. David Carlisle is in the chat. Malik Acid is Sour is saying, using a polishing wheel and a Dremel tool would help speed things up. Yes, it would. But this is my kitchen table, and I have limited space in the small house that we live in. I work literally off the kitchen hob with a big giant MDF board, and I don't have workspace, and I don't have enough space to keep all of these little wonderful machines that I would want. I, of course, would love to get one. And in fact, we have got like a sanding belt now and various other little bits of equipment that we are putting together. But for the time being, I'm quite happy doing this by hand. I quite enjoy it. It keeps me busy. It's quite cathartic. And it's, it's like working with your hands is actually really a satisfying thing to do. And, for anyone who doesn't work with their hands and isn't sort of crafty, like I was completely uncrafty before I ever got into doing this, and I'm still like an amazement to my dad this day, because Dad is wonderfully crafty, doing all of these incredible things with wood, and Dad in fact did loads of metalworking back in the 1970s as well. So there's loads of like skills that Dad has that were never imparted onto me, and then suddenly out of the blue one day I start doing this, and yeah, so I'm always a constant amazement to my dad in a kind of a good way, I think, yeah. So now, one thing I did want to say as well to all of you in the chat today, so a big thank you for joining. I know for those of you who are in the US, it is probably quite early in the morning, but thank you for joining, because we have got some awful lighting situations here in the UK. It's really very grim, so I wanted to do it earlier rather than later, otherwise it's just going to be too dark and horrible. So I hope it's all okay for you in terms of quality. Now, in terms of these bars, so one of the reasons I wanted to do this live for you all as well, because we're going to be putting these up for sale soon. So earlier in the year, we actually put up these little 1 ounce backyard bullion bars for sale. They were number 1 to 50, and I just said at the time that we would be making more. We'd be doing up to 100. There was enough demand for it. Loads of people were getting in touch and asking about them. So we've made them, and you can see here, they're not in order at the moment, but we have got the serial numbers all done, dusted. They are literally ready to go after we've finished doing all of the polishing this weekend, and I'll most likely list them for sale at some point during the next week. Once I've got time to actually sit down and do all the photographs of them. So I like making photograph databases of them. So if you are interested in picking up any of these bars, we are going to be offering them out to channel members first, and then out on our website. So basically, if you want to secure one of these bars, then have a look at our channel memberships. I'll put a link in the chat just now. If my keyboard decides to work, there we go. No, it doesn't want to work. Too far away from my wireless mouse and keyboard dongle. There we go. So that's the link to the memberships. So have a look at those, and if you are a channel member, even the basic level, just $2.99 a month, then you are guaranteed a bar if you want it, and that £2 that first month's membership will be deducted from your total when you check out with it. So it's basically free essentially for the first month, and you can choose whether or not you would like to grab hold of that. So if you want to grab hold of these bars, then let me know. We'll be, as I said, listing them up on our website for general retail at some point next week, depending on the volume that we've got sold from members and things like that. So I don't quite have the listing ready, and of course they're not all finished yet. They haven't been done and lovely photographed and everything. So we will be doing that at some point, and then we will hopefully be able to list them all out for leftovers on the website. So you can do whatever. There's the link in the chat, as I said, and And we've got Lewis Silverman, who has just joined, so a big thank you to him for joining as a Rambler extraordinaire. Thank you, I appreciate it. There are other membership benefits as well. We've got so behind the scenes video, and we've got 2 of them. I'm planning a 3rd one actually to release in the next couple of days. We're just sort of looking at getting it all filmed at the moment and edited together. So so Rockzilla is asking if he's not a member, can he get the numbers from last year? You won't be able to get any of these because these are all brand new. Last year we only did 50 of these. So this year we've increased the mintage up to 100. So this is the 2nd round of 50. So Rockzilla, if you do want to get another one, I presume you've got your first one from your first batch because I'm pretty sure we linked up about it, then you need to guarantee it by becoming a member, and then we'll communicate that out through obviously the memberships tab and everything, or you can leave it to chance and see what's on our website at the end of the week. That's kind of options I think that we've got at the moment. So, but a big thank you to Lewis Silverman for joining as a channel member. I appreciate that. And as I said, the way it's going to work, Lewis, in case you're wondering, keep an eye on our community tab. I'll also be trying to contact all of our channel members directly. I won't have access to like emails and things like that, as the channel memberships don't kind of show me that kind of detail, but I'll look you up, and if you've commented on any of my videos, we'll link up and stuff. But if you're also keen, Lewis, just drop me an email, or anybody else if you are a channel member and you want to or join as a channel member fresh now to get your name in the hat for one. It guarantees you one. The first 50 channel members are guaranteed a bar, so that's the best way to look to get into this. Now, I have missed a fair amount on the live chat, so let's just run through the live chat quickly and see how it's going. So Lacey Taylor says, good morning, Backyard Bullion and everyone. Pretty toning. They are very pretty, I have to say. Like the colours that you can get from this toning is lovely, and it is sometimes a shame to get rid of them. And I have, in fact, for a few different big sets that we've done for people, I've asked, do you really want it want it polished, because it looks so good like this? But a lot of people have actually always said shiny the better. Back down the chat, we've got Gibby's Treasure, Lacey Taylor in the chat. Edward Hughes is hello from Essex. Hello, my friend. How are you? Hope you're going to be enjoying the lockdown next week with us here in the in England anyway. Malik Acid is sour, says, how do you know if a silver item with no markings on it is genuine silver? There are various home remedy tests that you can do. You can do specific gravity tests. I've done all of these on my channel at some point, but if you kind of just do a YouTube search for these kind of things, so specific gravity, neodymium magnet, I see Got Boost has said in the chat as well, that's a really good way of doing it. And yeah, there's a load of home non-destructive tests that you can do to basically see if something is genuine silver. It's going to be a little bit more difficult if it's not 999 pure to work out its purity, because there's some really kind of weird test numbers that come out for different alloys of silver. But that's, in a nutshell, how you do it. But the best way is to make sure that you're buying stuff which is hallmarked. So these 1 ounce bars, as you can see, they've all got their... Get the camera. I'm sorry about the lighting. This is one of the reasons why we're doing the stream a little early today, because it is just terrible lighting. I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you on the giant Kilo Rolo round. Here is an example of the hallmark. So the hallmark is consisting of 4 different parts. Even the camera's struggling on this one. So the first mark is BYB. That's put on by the assay office to say that I have sent it in to them. 999 is the purity. So they've tested the silver and they've made sure it is what it is. The next mark is their mark. The Edinburgh Assay Office uses a castle, and then the letter is the year. 2020 is a V. Next year it will be a different letter. So that's kind of my best advice on that. Ian Hosier says, how many ounce of silver is SZ? I don't know what SZ is referring to, I'm afraid. Sorry, you might have to re-ask that question. Jake Chamberlain is asking, how do you become a member? So Jake, I'll put a link again in the chat, and basically, if I can get it there we go. So it's done through the YouTube platform, and as I said, you can join as the £2, I think it's £1.99 a month membership, which gets you obviously access to these bars. You get first preference of them. You're guaranteed a bar if you're of the first 50 that get in touch, and at the moment that's definite. So if you join as a member right now and get in touch with me, then you'll be guaranteeing yourself one of these bars. And then there are different membership levels as well if you so wish to support the channel with other fun things. We do a few behind the scenes videos. We've had a couple go out already. We've got another one planned for next week. Just casual kind of, stuff that when I pre-record videos, it's always fun, but it's semi-scripted. I don't script, but I always talk on a particular subject that I've researched, or at least kind of researched and then thought about a lot. So with the behind the scenes videos, it's really very much just me talking about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, at the bench, at the pouring bench, down here at the table, talking about things like that. So I quite enjoy it. It's just very cathartic. And if you join up as a member now for that, you'll get access to all of the previous videos as well. Lacey Taylor says, what is the best way to give a natural antiqued toning look to your coins or bars? Well, it depends how much time you've got, Lacey. Really, like if you've got the time to sit there for, months, even years, the natural toning process will take hold on any piece of silver and it will antique something. But if you are wanting something that's a little bit more natural looking than a sped up kind of patina, I hear that you can use boiled eggs. That's something that you can do. So if you get a plastic bag and you put your coin inside a plastic bag with a crushed up boiled egg, that'll do the trick in a day or so, or even sooner, depending on the egg and how smelly it is. It's the sulfur, you see. It's one of the reasons the liver of sulfur helps it. Otherwise, I've just found, generally speaking, I think silver antiques fairly well on its own, and it can take a bit of time to do so. The prime example would be these pieces here. They've been sat out on my desk for about 3 years, and they've naturally toned over time like this. So it does happen, it's not decades we're talking about. It can happen quite quickly, and of course it can happen a lot sooner depending on what's in your atmosphere. If you're in a house where you cook a lot of eggs, for example, it might go a lot sooner. So yeah, that's probably my thoughts on that. Who else is there? So feel free, guys, to ask any questions that you've got down in the chat. By the way, we were going to be here until about 3 o'clock, started at 2, so about an hour's worth. And I will hopefully have got through all of these bars by then. I think so. We're a quarter of the way through, and I'm just about a quarter of the way through doing these, I think so. I'll pick up the pace and make sure we finish this within an hour. So we're here for about an hour, and then that's it for today. And then next week we've got some fun videos to talk about. We're going to tell you what, next week's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? So let me know. I don't really want to talk about politics, but I have been asked an awful lot. But without getting too polarizing in politics, let me know who you think's going to win the election. It's going to be a close one for sure. It's kind of like turning into a global event as well. I mean, I'm going to be watching the election all night on, so it'll be like Tuesday, very late night for us. Usually, well, last year anyway, when I stayed up to watch the US elections, I think it was like 3-4 a.m. for us when it was fairly evident that Trump was going to win. So I decided, well, that's enough for me. I'm going to go to bed. So yeah, it was very sort of interesting process, and I think this year is going to be equally as interesting. So next week I'm going to be staying up to watch that, and I don't know if I really want to be talking about the politics of it and who wins or who doesn't win or what everything means, but I will be trying to then bring some content in of how I sort of view things in terms of its relation to silver more specifically, and of course gold as well. But it'd be interesting. What do you guys think? I mean, we've got a few Trump people think. I think he's going to win. I personally think he's going to win. I think there's a huge amount of weight that's not given to the people who are shy Trump voters. Like, all these polls will show that he's behind, but I think a lot of these people are probably just, saying Biden, but actually going to go and vote Trump. So, we'll see. I don't really want to talk too much about politics specifically. It's like a dynamite topic that along with sort of COVID and everything that's going on with lockdowns and stuff. It's like just not worth it in your mind. I'm so fed up with this year as well. Give us a big shout down in the chat if you're fed up with 2020, right? 2020 if you are fed up with 2020 as a year, because I don't know about you guys, but here in the UK we have just had another announcement about lockdowns, and we're going to be going into a lockdown as of next Thursday, which is joy of joys. It's really annoying. I've just started getting back into playing squash, and it's just really, really annoying that that's going to be stopping now. I'd been off for like a year with a bad foot injury, and then just got back into playing it and was really getting to grips with everything again, playing really well, getting fit, getting healthy, getting fun, seeing people, and now that's just kind of completely over. So yeah, just really frustrating. And so yeah, a few other people in the chat fed up with 2020 as well. It's just, it is what it is. It's one of those years, and I think it's going to be with us for a very long time, unfortunately. And I think 2020 is going to be drawing into 2021, 22, 23, 24. I think there's going to be economic impacts that are with us for a very long time. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes. So yeah, we've now got a few other people joining in the chat. So Christopher Nemo says 2020 won't end. I can see December 32nd, the first ever 32nd day of a month. Yeah, totally. That's what I mean. It's just going to keep on going. PLA Pause says 2020. You thought it was 1984. It does sometimes feel like that when you see all of the different news, news outlets saying things. It's just, it's just so many different things that happen every week, and you just think to yourself, really, is that what we're doing now? And then more happens, and you kind of just take it as granted, and just very annoying, isn't it? Who else? I saw a question, somebody asking me about, it was Lewis, so back up in the chat, says, sorry if it's been previously asked or answered, how old was I when I got into stacking or collecting? So the very first piece of silver I ever owned was a Walking Liberty $50, which was given to me by my grandfather. I did not know it was silver at the time. I was only about 4 or 5 years old. I kept it in a coin box, never thought anything of it. And then around the age of about 24, 25, I got a bunch of these coins out from that coin box and realised that I had a few silvers in there. I was looking at which ones were most valuable and stuff. And then I got sort of into collecting a few little, I say collecting, I bought a few things off eBay here and there. Bought a few fakes, bought a few regular stuff, and yeah, then it was just, basically from there I got more into coins. And then one time I discovered some videos on YouTube, and the rest is history. I kind of just then got into silver, and I got in at a nice time. I got in when it was late 2015, and spot price was about £9.50 an ounce, £10 an ounce, something like that. So we bought a bunch in the first wave there, loved it, got hooked. And then it was about 6 months after that, I then thought about giving some silver away as a gift to a godchild. And I eventually decided actually making something would be cooler and more fun and more meaningful. So I had been watching a bunch of these silver pourers, Hi-Ho Silver, Mr. Zeke, Losing Louie, just to name a few. And I decided to give it a go, and the rest is history. That's where we are now here today. So yeah, that's my answer. So stacking wise, about 5 years, collecting probably about 10, 15 years, and I've had silver in my life ever since I was about 4 or 5 years old. So let's head back to the chap. Small Town Stacker says you should watch the trailer for Songbird 2021. Looks a lot like predictive programming. I'm not really familiar with all that, but never mind. Lacey Taylor says, hello SSS Limited. I don't know what SSS Limited is. Maybe you can spell that out for us. Silver Dave says he mentally started prepping for this to last 10 years. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good estimate, Dave. If not, I'd say longer. I mean, we're what, 11 years out from the financial crisis and crash of 2008 and 9, and in a way, we're still feeling the effects of that. We were feeling the austerity measures of that still not too long ago. So. Yeah, it's, I think, going to be with us longer than that. I think that 2008-9 crisis was a drop in the ocean compared to what we are experiencing now financially and economically. Malik Acid is Sour says, do you think that the platinum family of metals, so platinum, palladium and rhodium, are good investment metals? Personally, no. I do not like platinum, palladium or rhodium. I think of the three, I own a bit of platinum. That is the only one that I would say is potentially investable. Palladium and rhodium are both very, very highly priced at the moment. So I think getting into it now would be stupid, in my opinion. I think it's such a difficult metal to own. I think if you can buy it, if you want to track it on like paper, that's fine, go for it. But I think physically holding palladium or rhodium, it's just so expensive and it's so difficult to sell. Most dealers won't take it, most dealers won't buy it off you quickly, and I think it's just a disaster waiting to happen. So from my perspective, platinum, just about, yes, I have a few ounces of platinum, that's it, but palladium and rhodium, no. Brett S says, do I have a PayPal address for Mrs. Backyard Bullion Slap Up Meal Fund for spending so much time with us? We don't have, well, we do have a PayPal address. If you really want to, you can send us some money on PayPal. But I think if you want to, you could do a super chat. Super chats are always very good for us here. It helps with things like the YouTube algorithm. It obviously supports our channel financially. So if you want to give us a super chat, if anybody wants us to give a super chat for a nice little bit of a Chinese takeaway, then please feel free. Otherwise, channel memberships as well are a good way to do it. That would be my suggestion for you. So please feel free to do so. Or if you really want, you can get in touch and we could look to actually give you something in return for your money and organise something like these poured silver bars. Or you can get hold of one of these 1 ounce silvers. We'd much rather you do that because then you get something out of it at the other end. But if you want to donate, I'm more than happy for anybody to donate. Now, on the channel memberships and these bars, if you do want to support everything that we're doing here on the YouTube channel and you want to buy some of these little 1 ounce bars, here we've got some, got a good amount done now, so let's just show you them, the befores and after. If you are interested in picking up any of these little 1 ounce bars, then they are going to be available to channel members first. So if you are interested in them and you would like to beat, throwing them all over the place, I'll pick that one up later. If you would like to pick one of them up and you'll want to guarantee yourself one of them, because we will be listing them live on our website at an undisclosed time in the next week, and things do sell quite quickly on our website at the moment. I get emails nearly every day saying, why haven't you got things listed for sale on your website? So the leftovers will be listed there, and if you want to guarantee yourself a bar, then channel memberships is the way to do it. So channel members will get a bar if they want one. All you need to do is join as the lowest tier member, so it's I think $1.99 per month, and you can choose to you can definitely choose to keep it. I was just reading PLA Pause, it says it's definitely got a dent. I don't think it's got a dent. Hopefully it will be all right. So the $1.99 will be discounted from your purchase on these bars, so you can get hold of one of those, and then after that first month you can choose whether or not you want to keep up the channel support. We will be having other products coming out which will be exclusively available for channel members, and also there are different membership levels that you can choose to be at, and I know I've got a few of you guys out there who have also been supporting the channel with the higher up level memberships and watching some of the behind the scenes videos that we've been publishing, as well as some sponsored pouring mentoring. I don't think Roy is in the chat today. If he is, give us a shout. But yeah, Roy, we've been working with Roy to get him up and running with his first pieces, so that's really been quite fun and exciting to do. Nosematics has super chatted. A big thank you to him, and hey, it worked. There was a thing that popped up that said a big super chat thank you. So thank you very much for your support, my friend. Nosematics, by the way, he's one of our moderators and he's been on the channel moderating for a while now. Such a super chap, always there to help support the channel, and I appreciate everything you do, my friend. Big thumbs up to you. So Will Lancaster is asking, how did those bars get so tarnished? I did it on purpose. I did it deliberately. In fact, let me just go grab the thing that I used to do it. So we use this stuff. I keep it in a sealed bag because it's smelly as hell. It is liver of sulfur and it smells like rotten eggs. And you just mix it with hot water, and then that's basically it. You let them sit for not too long, because if you let them sit for long enough, they'll basically go so black that it's going to be almost impossible to hand polish them. And yeah, that's the nature of it. You basically just get them to this black stage, and then it's a bit of elbow grease to get them all nice and polished. The lighter the patina, the easier it is to polish them. So Lacey Taylor is laughing at PLA Pause. Yeah, he's saying about that dented one. Let me just recover it. It's gone right under the table. So let me just find it. There we go. Got a bit of dog hair all over it. Let's get that all cleaned off. There we go. That's the one that fell on the floor. So PLA, if you'd like to have that one, it's number 85. So remember that number if you want the one that I dropped live on stream onto the floor. It looks in good condition. Looks like it hasn't been dinged or dented. See if we can get it in focus up close. No. Oh, yeah, there we go. No dings or dents on there. So if you want that one, just drop me an email. If anybody is a channel member and you want to sort of guarantee your bars, then join up as a member if you want to guarantee them. But otherwise, drop me an email to byb@backyardbullion.com, and then we can link up about that. So 85. In fact, I'm going to just write that down, because otherwise I'm inevitably going to forget. Where's a pen and paper when you need it? Right, there we go. PLA pause number 85. Hopefully we can get that one linked up with you, my friend, if you so wish. So Nosemantic says, I wish you could do so much more. You don't need to do more, my friend. I mean, any super chat anybody gives is really very appreciated. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. But as I said earlier in the stream, I would much prefer, anybody who wants to support the channel to purchase our poured silver. And even if you don't want to, need to, can, or just you don't feel like it's right for you, that's fine. Just watching, just hitting the thumbs up. Not even hitting the thumbs up, just watching a video is fine. If you're not subscribed, it's fine too. Any engagement that you can give with the YouTube channel is just how it is, and I like it and I love it, so thank you. So yeah, Andrew Selesky says it smells like farts. It smells like stink bombs that you get from, like the toy stores when you were small, when you were at school. I remember the stink bombs. God, they were horrible. Set one of those off in a classroom and it would clear the room in minutes. Not pleasant. So it does not smell nice, and I try as best as possible to always do it outside. But today it's just been so horrible with the rain. I had to do it inside, and it was not very pleasant. Silversmith Shield Limited has joined as a member. Big thank you to joining, and you will gain access to one of these particular bars if you so wish. Just drop me an email or a message. As I said, for anyone else, if you are interested in picking up one of these Backyard Bullion bars, we have obviously 50 here. CLU is asking how much they're going to be. They're probably going to be £40 each, and then there'll be a discount if you've joined as a member of your first month membership, £2. So yeah, that's how we're going to do it. And if you want to pick them up, that's fine. International shipping is always going to be a thing. For those who are not in the UK, we will be able to ship internationally and worldwide. We haven't got the exact prices of all of that kind of things at the moment, but we'll work it out such that it won't be too bad. Like, for just one bar, we can get these to you guys for a decent price. So John Hughes is asking, any chance for purchase today? So we're not taking money for these at the moment today. This is the pre-sale side of things. So it's just to let you all know that they are going to be put up on our website at some point within the next probably week or so, I would say. I haven't got an exact date at the moment for two reasons. First reason is that we are, as I said, trying to promote these as channel membership perks. So if anybody does want to pick one up and you're a channel member, then you're guaranteed one. You don't have to fight against the clock. You don't have to worry about the time differences. You will get one. You will be guaranteed one. But if you want to take it by chance and you just want to keep an eye on our website, then at some point in the next week we will be listing them and you can grab hold of them. So that's the general nuts and bolts of them, of it. And of course, like with channel members and everything, we'll be working with you to get like the best options for shipping, combined with shipping, or even depending on who's buying them and where, we might even be able to do some kind of drop shipping arrangement with a chap I've got in the US who's very generously offered a standing offer to sort of basically help if there was a situation where we had like 20 bars going to America and it would be cheaper all round, almost like an international group order for Backyard Bullion stuff. So that's the general nuts and bolts of it. As I said, the best way to guarantee yourself one of our Backyard Bullion branded bars is by joining as a channel member, and again, I'll put the link to that down in the comment section if I can get my. The problem is, right, so I've got awful technology. I'm awful with technology. So I've got my camera mounted on the back of a chair pointing at the table, because if I had it mounted on the table, it would all, it would wobble every time I move it. And because I'm at a certain angle, I'm quite a long way away from my PC unit, and my wireless mouse is struggling to pick up the signal, which is ridiculous. I know, it's just nothing ever goes right technology-wise for me. But hey, the stream's working and we've not got an audio feedback loop of death, which is always a relief, I think, because we've had a few bad starts to streams before, so we got it all right this time. And also, like, the super chat things are working quite well. We've got a little notification that pops up if you're super chatting, and I like it. I think it's cool. And we don't do very many of these live streams. It's always difficult, and I've been asked a load of times, why don't you do like a live pouring session? It's really difficult, like live streaming, guys. Like, I'm basically sat here in my kitchen talking to what we're at 65 people in the chat at the moment, and talking to 65 of you on the kitchen table. And I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to read the chat, trying to see what everybody's saying. I'm also trying to do, obviously, the polishing here. And at the best of times, I am a bad multitasker. Let me tell you, I am awful. Like, not even bad. I'm just like dangerous when I'm trying to multitask. I can't do it. So pouring silver is going to be a big one, big ask for me to do. If I can work out a way of setting things up so that it's a lot safer, because again, like, you want to get the camera at a good angle and everything, but if something goes wrong with the silver and everything, it's just like safety is an important thing for me, especially now I'm working, working in my house on the kitchen hob. I don't want to, actually like set fire to the kitchen or something stupid because I'm not focusing. So it's kind of the reason I don't do them. It is what it is. So someone asked about the ball of silver. Malic acid is sour. How did I make the ball of silver? In fact, I think I can show you part of one of it. So I have a 2-part mould, and in that 2-part mould is a planet Earth. So we did a big Earth last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. And this mold you just basically pour into the top, and then you chop off the spur, and you've got yourself a sphere. And then, because we wanted to make it look really cool with the hammering, we just hammered really hard, really like lots of hammering to get the texture that we want here. This particular one, it's not been antiqued yet, so you probably won't be able to see, even with the light, probably won't be able to see what it's stamped on there, but it's 12.37 ounces Troy, and it's got the hallmarks underneath, and those will stand out like this. They'll stand out really nice and black once I've antiqued it. So yeah, this was one of the coolest things that we make. I love this. 12.7 or 12.37 ounces. It's really very satisfying. One thing I love about it is it sits quite nicely on top of my Rolo Kilo, which is always a pleasure to have on my desk, let me tell you. We made this earlier this year and I have not sold it. I don't intend to sell it anytime soon, and maybe one day we'll sell it. But for now, this is what we love. This is what I want. This is the coolest piece that I've got, and I absolutely adore it. So it's definitely my fondle piece, if you can say that on YouTube, a fondle piece at the moment. So let's just jump back to the chat. If you've got any questions, if anybody's got anything that they want to ask, it could be silver, gold, poured silver related, YouTube related, then please feel free to ask. Otherwise, just let us know how your day's going and what your current situation is. Who's in lockdown right now? It would be really interesting to see if anybody is actually currently in lockdown in the chat. It's pretty grim prospects for us here in the UK. Jason Stella has joined as a BYB Rambling Society member. Big thank you for joining, Jason. We appreciate that. If you've joined specifically to get hold of one of our 1 ounce backyard bullion bars that you see being polished in front of your very eyes, then look out for a community tab update and or comments on your comments. Or you can drop me an email. That is probably the single best way to get things sorted. So byb@backyardbullion.com, and then we can link up about these and get these all set up and sorted for you. So we can basically look to get everything arranged for your 1 ounce bar if that's what you want. And that goes to anybody else as well. If you want to join as a member, it guarantees you one of our 1 ounce backyard bullion bars. So make sure that you are joining if you wish to get hold of one of them. It will guarantee there's 50 of these bars that are going to be available. Actually, I lied, there's technically only going to be 49 because one of them has already been reserved, number 100. So there's only going to be 49 potential bars going out there. So the first 49 people who join as a member and drop me an email will guarantee themselves a bar. Any that are left over after that particular time period, it'll probably be later this week, then we will be listing the rest up for sale on our website. So that's the general nuts and bolts of where we are with these 1 ounce backyard bullion bars. I've been looking forward to releasing them for the last couple of weeks, and now is the time. UK Stacker has joined as a BYB Rambling Society member. Big thank you to you for joining. I appreciate your support. And hey, we've got another one that's just popped up. In fact, I'm watching this in live, and there's always a little bit of a delay, so I'll say it in a moment when that actually pops up on screen. So Jason Stella says, you're welcome. I shall drop you an email. Please do, byb@backyardbullion.com. And as I said, we can link up. John Hughes says, lockdown, I could do with it. I've not had a day off since January. Oh, it's horrible. I mean, the thing at the moment is, it seemed like an incredible thing at the start of the year. So John, I know you're asking for a day off there and you really want it. But I know quite a few people who had to work from home. Or were furloughed, and they basically said for the first 2 weeks it was like the summer holidays at school. The second 2 weeks was like summer holidays at school. You get bored and you don't know what to do. You run out of things to watch on Netflix. And then you get really, really bored and you don't know what to do with yourself. So it's one of those things where it's quite nice for a little bit of time. And I'm hoping that the month-long lockdown that we've got planned here in the UK is just going to be a month-long lockdown. Now, Santa Fe Mike has super chatted with $5. So thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. That's really very generous of you. And if anybody else wants to super chat to support the channel, then please feel free to do so. Or, as I said, join as a channel member. And I always think that the best thing that anybody can do if they want to support our channel is, rather than just sending, you can send super chats, please feel free to do so. But the best thing to do is to buy some of our poured silver, because it's the reason that we do what we do. You know, I do this as a job. This is my job now. It's it's fun to do. I love doing it. It's creative and it's cathartic. It keeps my mind very occupied. This summer has been an example of that. There was a period where the assay office was closed down, and we were really unable to make anything. You know, get it hallmarked and finished, which was a real pain and annoyance. So to have this YouTube channel, to have everything there that we could actually be able to work on and do and enjoy and talk with you guys and engage with everybody was just so cathartic and so valuable for me that this is by far and away the best job that anybody could imagine. So I think if you guys can keep me going in terms of buying my poured silver and stuff, which have, by the way, gone bonkers this year. I have had popular periods before, but this has been like nothing I've ever seen with our own poured silver. So a huge thank you to anybody out there who's already purchased poured silver from us before. It's like mad this year, just ridiculous. Nosematics is saying a big thank you to those who are supporting the channel. So thank you, Nosematics, for all of your wonderful moderating and support. You've already super chatted as well. You're awesome. So big thank you to you, my friend. Digital 1911 says, anyone curious to see spot pricing post elections Wednesday morning? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one next week. What does everyone think in the chat? Where do we think the metal markets are going to go? I mean, even Monday is going to be interesting because we've got this huge lockdown announcement that's just happened this week. So of course, business in the UK is going to be, up the brown creek without a paddle, and then we've got all of the crap that's going to come out from the economic fallout of that to look forward to. So I personally think come Monday morning we're going to see a bump in metal prices, or a reduction in the value of pound. I think the pound's going to be tanked on Monday morning, which is ridiculously annoying. It's so awful. I remember 3 years ago, before Brexit, it was like 150 to the dollar, $1.50 to the pound or something, and now it's like $1.25 or something. And the euro was like 130, and now it's 109, something like that. So huge reduction in our buying power going forward, which is just dire. I just think this is going to be with us for so long. Nosematics says, top quality products no, thank you, my friend. We try our very hardest to make the best looking products that we can, because we know that our pieces are premium and they are not cheap pieces of silver. And anybody who buys these, by the way, should understand that this is not an investment in silver. This is an investment in the Backyard Bullion brand. And we do what we can to make things look as good as we can. And that's what I want to continue doing. And there's another good thing that I want to share with you guys as well, is that we will never become this giant, massive conglomerate backyard bullion refinery. That's not what I want to achieve with my business. I want to remain small. I want to remain unique. I want to create these cool products, and I want to have them such that we can continue to have low mintage, high quality, unique products. That's the goal for us. So, you're not going to see thousands and thousands of pieces being made. When I say there's only 100 of these bars made this year, that's it. There's 100, and we're going to photograph every single individual one so that people know without a shadow of a doubt that that's just what it is. And every single one is unique. Every single one is different. UV has joined as a member. A big thank you to UV for signing up. For those who are joining in the chat later on, we've had a steady grow of numbers up to what we're in the 80s now. We are polishing up 1 ounce backyard bullion branded silver bars, which I have made, and we will be listing these for sale within the next week. They will be going up on our website. However, there will only be a very limited number on our website because they will be the leftovers from any channel members that would like to purchase them first. So if you are interested in what you're seeing on the table here, these 1 ounce backyard bullion bars, and you'd like to get one, then the best way, the single way that you can guarantee one right now, is to become a channel member and get in touch with me directly. You'll get a discount on your initial price purchase. So these bars will be retailing at £40 a bar, but that will be down by £2 if you're a channel member. So you basically get your first month's channel membership for free, and then you can choose whether or not you'd like to keep hold of that membership going forward. So I kind of feel like that's a pretty good deal for our channel members. Of course, guaranteeing yourself a bar is what a lot of people want to do, and I have had a number of products this year released where we've had to do lotteries and draws to sort of see who gets them, and it's always annoying because it has to be done. It's the fairest way to do it, but it's really frustrating for some people who just can't guarantee themselves a bar. But these we want to use as this way to promote supporting the channel through memberships, and also for these bars. So if you want to get hold of one, channel memberships. Put a link down in the live chat. There's also a link down in the description box if anybody's watching this on catch up, and yeah, just get in touch. Hopefully by this time next week they'll all have been sorted out and sold. So if you want to get one, let us know. So let's go back to the chat now and see what's having. So John Valdron says all governments are killing the dollar, so I'm thinking gold and silver standards are coming soon. I don't think gold and silver standards will come. I genuinely don't. I think that whatever your opinions are on the coronavirus, and whether or not you think it's all been a ruse to basically cover up a financial crash, or whether you think it's all genuine, I don't really want to get into that at all. But whether or not that's your opinion, I do think that silver and gold will be a great asset to hold, but I don't think that they will be a gold standard anytime soon. I honestly don't. For a gold standard to work, there has to be a very large proportion of the world's countries and governments that actually sign up to it for it to work. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. It's just gold and silver. And then if you fixed your own currency to that gold and silver, you are then beholden to the global markets of that. And if there are a very significant portion of countries out there in the world that don't actually adhere to the gold standard, you're just limiting how much you can do as a country. So I genuinely don't think that's going to happen unless we see some incredible shift in global economic politics, and I just don't see that happening anytime soon. So that's my thoughts on a gold standard, but I do think next week's going to be a really, really interesting one for metals. I think right now there's the quiet before the storm. It feels like there's a quiet before the storm. We've of course got the election, we've got the fallout from the UK lockdown, we've got fallout from various other European countries going into lockdown as well. So it's going to be an interesting one next week. Got a few people sort of guessing the spot price next week. Lacey Taylor's saying $30 an ounce, and then slowly start, and then it's slowly going to start to rise. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. I don't think it's going to happen over a course of a day. I think we're going to see steady, slow rises over the next week. There was a pullback this last week, and I think that's just a gearing up for what's to come, basically. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult week ahead, I think, for metals. PLA Paul says they would make really cool pendants. Maybe a full ounce troy would be a bit heavy. You might feel like a little bit like Mr. T walking around with a big silver bar hanging around your neck for sure. To be honest, we've done pendants, we've done hanging bits of silver. So on these bars, they've got a decent bit of width to them. You can drill straight the way through. I've done that with a nice fine drill before and then threaded stuff through. So it is possible. We can do it. Well, I say we can do it. We have done it. I haven't done it for a while, so it is possible. But personally, I think it's a bit of a shame because these bars, they're meant to be bars. You know, bar form silver is one of the coolest things out there, and I love bars. Although, I'd like to get your opinion. What do you guys like better, a bar or a round? Because I'm currently working on some very cool things. These are fresh from the furnace this morning, by the way. We've got some 2-ounce rounds coming. And these are going to be charity pieces in conjunction with a company out there that I'm sure a lot of you might be able to guess. I'm really sorry about the lighting here today. It's awful and the camera's having a hard time focusing. But anyway, we've got some nice rounds poured and they will be coming out hopefully before Christmas. I mean, one of the things that we are trying to get done before lockdown hits is getting our stuff assayed, because at the moment, fingers crossed, it's all okay, because Edinburgh, the Edinburgh Assay Office where I get all my stuff hallmarked, is still open because they're in Scotland and they're not in lockdown. Edinburgh is in like the second highest tier, so if it goes up any higher, then it possibly will be locked down and we'll be in a position where we can't get those. But yeah, it's like a bit difficult to know what's going to happen at the moment, so yeah, a bit annoying. Back down into the chat then. So, Lewis Silverman is asking, does somebody have number 69? He's not being childish at all. That's funny you say that. I thought I had number 69 in my hand. Number 68, close but no cigar. Well, we haven't done numbers yet. The only numbers that I've got kind of earmarked are number 77 for somebody who always has number 77 of a particular number, and also 100 at the moment. So beyond that, no, I think we're pretty much going to do it on a first come first served basis. So yeah, in theory, Lewis, we can get you number 69 and you can have your schoolboy giggles as long as you like. So yeah, I don't know if you already have emailed me. I've seen a few emails pop in on my phone as I've been working away here. So I will, of course, try and get back in touch with everybody as soon as I can after we've finished. Maybe not even I might do it today. I don't know. I'm considering getting back on the furnace today because, as I said, I'm trying to get as much work done as possible before the potential lockdown extends to Scotland and the assay office closes. So I'm trying my damned hardest at the moment to get as much done as possible. So we will see. We will see. I think I probably am going to fire the furnace up. This is going to be the third furnace session today. So my day so far today has been a 6 a.m. start with the furnace starting up. I poured until about 9 o'clock, and then I had about a half an hour break, half an hour time, got a second furnace out, fired that one up, worked till about 12:30. Then I put the first furnace back on again and did one session till 1:30. Then I got this all ready for this live stream here, and I think I'm going to do another 3-hour session. So I'll have had 7 pouring sessions done today. We are ferociously working away to try and get as much done as possible for the contracts and work that we've been assigned at the moment. We've got some really cool products coming out at some point. So yeah, it's busy old times at the moment for me, and it's a Sunday. I have no time to sit down and relax on a Sunday and do nothing. So Lewis says he has sent an email. Good. Yeah. So if anybody else, by the way, if you want to get hold of these bars, then as I said, the best way to do so is to become a channel member, and you'll get your first £2 membership off on the bars. They'll be £40 each. They'll be listed on our website. The leftover ones will be listed on our website later in the week. But if you want to guarantee yourself a bar, then please do so now. PLA Pause is asking for 85. That is because I dropped it midstream. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's been damaged, but he gets one with a little bit of provenance to it because my silly fumbled lack of coordination and multitasking skills managed to drop it all on the floor. So that was rather good, wasn't it? I'll let you all in on a little secret. For those of you who've been watching this long into the stream, I have, once upon a time, dropped a rather expensive coin that was sent to me that wasn't mine. And fortunately, it landed on some carpet and the capsule didn't break and the capsule didn't scratch, and nobody was none the wiser. So I'm not going to let you know what coin that was, but I was like, when I dropped it, it's a very expensive coin, and I was like, oh God, if I've damaged that, break it, you buy it type situation. So anyway, that's that's what we do. Now, there was another person I did see. There were a few people actually. I think Roxilla, if you're still in the chat, I saw you asking this earlier, and then I saw somebody else asking. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, and I can't see it in the chat. They said that the antiqued bars look almost better sometimes than the final polished versions. Yeah, I think so. I think these antiqued bars look really, really cool. And in fact, you know, I'm just thinking right now, actually at the top of my mind, you know, whether or not we should just keep these last 5. We've done it completely randomly. Let's see what numbers we've got left over. If we keep these last 5 as antiqued ones, people can get hold of them if they want. So it might be very difficult to see these numbers on the stream. But we've got 55, 61, 78, 73, and 94. So yeah, I think, I don't know, part of me's like the OCD, like inner OCD part of me is like they have to be polished. I think, yeah, I'm going to polish them because, you know, ultimately, if you want them antiqued, I can tell you how to do it. It's not difficult. It's not a difficult process. You can antique your own. I think that's, I want to keep them shiny. I like consistency, and I think it's important to have consistency across the board as well. So yeah, we'll polish them, but if you want to have them antiqued further, then I'll tell you how to do it, and we can possibly help you do it too. So Digital 911 says UV just keep stacking once you get your BYB buy. Yeah, like guys, like if you are looking at buying these, don't buy them as an investment. Buy them as a way to support our channel. Buy them something that you'll enjoy, something that you'll get some enjoyment out of. Poured silver is way better than coin silver to hold. I say coin silver like modern 909 coin silver. To hold, enjoy, to feel the density, to feel the weight of. But don't please buy these as an investment in the silver. Yes, silver prices will go up, but these will be, you know, these are premium bars. There's only 100 of them being made, and as you can see, we work completely by hand on all of these, stamping them, pouring them, polishing them, cleaning them, antiquing them. You know, they are premium products, so please bear that in mind. Magic Man says he loves hand-poured silver, handmade silver. I love handmade silver. It is, as I said, one of the coolest things that you can have, you can hold, and you can actually enjoy. That's the most important thing. And one of the coolest ways to do that is with hammered poured silver as well. So it's basically what it says on the tin. You take a piece of silver and you take a hammer to it, and you get something like one of these 2 items at the end of it. So lots of really cool you know, ways that you can do. And this is something completely different as well. This was an accidental sort of void created in this Rolo as it cooled in the furnace. So absolutely love that piece. That's mine. Nobody can buy it. Maybe one day I'll be forced to sell it by Mrs. Backyard Bullion, but for now, that is mine. So we are coming in now on the home stretch. We're at the bottom of the 9th, as some of my US viewers might say, and we are going to be wrapping up fairly soon because as I said, I've got to get back on the furnaces. I've got a bunch more products that I need to make and get sent off to the assay office before it bloody closes. I have a suspicion that Scotland is going to go into lockdown, or at least parts of Scotland will go into some form of lockdown at some point. So yeah, you know, it's going to be a tough week ahead for all things metal, and for us, we want to just crack on and get what I've got left to do this year done, and then I can at least sit back a little bit and just watch the lockdown destroy our economy. Yeah, anyway. So, in summary of the stream, we have been polishing up the 1 ounce Backyard Bullion bars. These are serial numbers 51 to 100. 100 will be kept as a prize to give away at some point or other. The only other number that is pre-reserved was number 77, but we've had a few people in the chat. PLA Pause is wanting to grab hold of number 85 because I dropped it on the floor. And Lewis Silverman, I think you want number 69 because you're basically a silly schoolboy that likes to giggle about the number 69. So we are, as I said, going to be listing these for sale on our website probably at the back end of this coming week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week, possibly over the weekend, depending on how fast I can get all my work done this week, get them all photographed and uploaded to the website and everything. So yeah, that's the general plan for these. If you would like to purchase one, if you would like to get hold of one, then the best way to do so is via our channel memberships. Channel members, even at the lowest level of membership, which is £1.99 a month, will get first dibs at these bars. Any then that are left over at the end of next week will be listed up on our website for general retail, and things sell quickly on our website at the moment. In the last couple of months, whenever we've listed something, it's sold within an hour, usually, depending on the size of it. And I have a suspicion that these will sell equally as quickly. So if you're interested, I'll put a link into the chat just now for our channel memberships. $1.99 is the basic level membership. That gets you access to these bars. You'll get that $1.99 as a discount. These will be priced at £40 a bar. You'll get that discount back, and then you can choose whether or not you want to keep hold of your your monthly membership to support our channel. That's it from us. Thank you, one and all, for dropping by this rather gloomy, horrible, disgustingly rainy Sunday afternoon for us here in the UK. I've enjoyed having some good time with all of you. My hands are all filthy dirty with silver polish. The bars are looking good and shiny, and I want to say a huge thank you to everybody in the chat. For those of you who've super chatted, big thumbs up and thank you. If you guys have enjoyed this chat, by the way, before you leave, perhaps you could give a thumbs up on the video. That really does help everything that we do here on the channel. Big thank you to everybody who's joined as members as well, and if you haven't checked out all of the memberships, please have a look at them, because as I said, they are the best way of being able to get hold of these bars. And also there are some additional bits of content that are available. We do some behind the scenes videos every month at the moment, and we are in the process of doing number 3, and that will be put out via the community tab here. So if you join up as a second tier level member, you'll get access to all of those previous videos as well. So thank you one and all for stopping by and watching. Have a fantastic weekend ahead. I hope everybody out there is safe and healthy and happy as can be in the impending lockdown that's coming in the next couple of weeks. So take care all, and we'll see you on the next video. Otherwise, that's it from me. See you next time, and thank you one and all for watching.